everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some more Gruul ramp, or Gruul Smugglers Surprise, if you want to call it that way. Our main win condition here is using a card called Terror of the Peaks along with Calamity. The thing we're doing today is we're going to be playing Gruul Surprise, and then we're going to switch over to the Jund version. And I'm going to play them back to back and try to get a true analysis of which one maybe you should be playing, at least in the best of one ladder, which one is better if you like both of these decks, and kind of go over it. One of the big issues that we run into today is aggro is pretty fast, pretty hard for us to answer, and as you can see, we need to have the Brotherhood in or the Burn Down the House ready to go in order to clean up those matchups. But the main thing we're trying to do is have 6 mana available, cast Smuggler's Surprise for the green in the top corner and the 5 mana mode in the middle, and putting 2 creatures directly from our hand onto the battlefield. And what that is then we'll have Calamity. Calamity has haste. It's a 4/6 with saddle 1, but Terror of the Peaks will be what is saddling this creature. Basically what happens is this enters, it attacks, Terror of the Peaks, then gets 2 copies made of it, and then it shoots our opponent for 15, because how this works is if saddled this turn, create a tapped attacking token that's a copy of it. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. Repeat this process once. So Terror of the Peaks has a very cool ability on it that says whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. Therefore, 1 copy of Terror of the Peaks will enter the battlefield. The original copy will see that, shooting our opponent for 5. Another copy will enter as this process repeats itself. 2 Terror of the Peaks will see the final Terror of the Peaks enter the battlefield and shoot our opponent for 10 additional damage. And then we'll have a 4/6 haster on the ground that also already did 4 damage off of entering the battlefield at the same time as our original Terror of the Peaks. And we'll have 2 flying terrors that are 5/4s in the air coming in for the damage as well. So just off the terrors alone, not counting Calamity, is a total of 25 damage with the 15 burn damage plus the 2 flying 5/4s, with an additional 4 coming in off of Calamity, hitting for a total of 2933 damage is the total outcome of that turn if there is nothing in play off of this ETB with the terror, and then 2 more terrors entering for 15 and then swinging for an additional 14. So other than that, let's go ahead and hop into the games, and if you all enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. I truly appreciate it, and let's just head out there in game. Impressive hand. Like, if I find an untapped land, it curves out so well. I just don't think I can. Alright, I'll keep another 2 lander. Sure. Charm, you're going away right now. Need the big threats. Mono red it is, or Boros it is. Why not? It's like the only thing you run into early season is Boros and mono red, because people are really creative and fun. Sure. Do this. Go grab a mountain here for Brotherhood in draws. Also, it just like makes our mana way more even. We have a Topiary Stomper. Technically, I guess we can grab a mountain then, but sure, Gleeful Demolition away, dog. Please, can I draw Brotherhood in? One time. Nope. Okay. I guess we can seal, and I'm just going to ramp, and then I'm going to play land, play Terror of the Peaks, probably get hit with an Immodane's Recruiter here, lose over half my life total, and it won't matter. But we're going to play to it, as though it does matter. Brotherhood in would be pretty sick. Carnosaur not necessarily good in this match. Another card, at least like, I take 5 instead of 10 plus. More land, okay. I can remove this. I'm just dead if I play Terror of the Peaks. They attack, it's other creatures. Yeah, it's others. So if I play this, say I block the bat, I don't know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm not necessarily dead, but that also implies they play nothing else, which doesn't work very well, but I think it's my only chance of winning. Because this into the Smugglers is a win con. Okay, sure. Warden, sure. Not a Smugglers, by the way. This into Calamity is a win con. Sure. Obviously, we're going to take a ton of damage here. I actually don't want to block here because I don't want them to have another flyer. Block like this, I guess. We find it. No, we draw another land. Okay. Brothers sit in. You'd be very cool. I need to make sure I eliminate as many bats as possible if this hits. Holy cow, it did. I forgot that the Terror of the Peaks damage was going to happen first. Wow. They make 2 bats, and now I defend the line. I guess it wouldn't matter what I targeted with Terror of the Peaks, because the brothers sit in and wipe the entire board regardless. You will also have a creature to enter the battlefield here. No. They do not. Here into a Tolly seems like the best play. And shoot them for 7 and find lethal. I don't know how, but okay. We do this side, we do this side. Tolly hits, shoots for 7 again. Or not a Tolly, Carnosaur hits. Just put that in hand. Kind of a dead hit there. 7, Immodanes, buff everything. 2, Immodanes triggers. We hit them all the way down to 2, and then we attack and hit them for a whopping 36. Holy cow, bro. I lived at 1 against Boros, who just didn't have an Immodanes. If they had Immodanes at any point, we lose. So I think more times than not, you can count that game as a loss. We just happen to win like the 10% chance. It's crazy. Okay, my opponent goes first. I can Surveil. I can Armadillo. I can Topiary Stomper. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Seems like it'll be fine. Kind of. Leave on top. I'll leave on top as well. Seems good. From what I'm seeing thus far. Are you just mono black? Sure. Maybe holding up a removal or a flash creature? I don't know of a flash creature in black there. Gix, pretty good, pretty good. I'd argue that's a really good card. We're looking for probably maximum land drops here. I can play a Cavern next turn and then play the Arid Archway and just kind of ensure that I have land drops, but they definitely could be playing like Field of Ruin effects, so I'm going to grab a Forest. Definitely could be playing Field of Ruin type effects. But with Gix here, I'm going to draw them cards. I'm definitely going to Brotherhood in this board because I think I have to. Clears out both creatures. They now have to reset. Obviously, something like a Shield Ring can come down now. But comparatively, I'll take that over most anything else. Compared to Fairy Dream Thief and Gix. Okay, well, never mind. They said it was so good the first time, I'm going to do it again. I would have to assume that they top decked one of those for them to say nice like that. But I believe they have Go for the Throw in hand, which is a little tough. I'm going to get hit. They're going to draw 2 cards. My only fear here is they do play a Deep Cavern Bat and they take my Smuggler's Surprise. Because I'm looking to double jam Atalis here off mine. And they're looking to hold up removal, it seems. Which is fair. I don't know how fair. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pay. And they have priority hold, but it's obviously not a counter spell. And then I'm going to double Atali. Obviously, legendary rule will apply, but getting to put in 4 permanents or cast 4 spells from both of our decks just seems good. Sure, remove it. I'd always be fearful of removing it right here because there's always a possibility that I hit another one, and I think they agree with that. I would like you to sacrifice a non-token creature, and I'd like to play this Topiary Stomper. Waking up my Topiary Stomper, which is very nice. Because now I'll have 7 mana. So this will make them sacrifice a non-token creature, which of course they sacrifice that. Gix is a significantly better card comparatively. And then I get to cast a Preacher, and I get to cast a Carnosaur. We want to do Carnosaur first in case this hits a Terror of the Peaks. Oh, look at that. Just like I said. And so now Terror of the Peaks will enter, and then Preacher will enter, and we'll get a little bit of value off of it. Not too much, because it is only 2 toughness here. And obviously it's not going to be able to remove Gix out of the way. With the last spell down, what are you hitting? I'm shooting you. Obviously this doesn't remove Gix, so there's no point doing that. And just like that, 2 Atalis, and I'm left with 6 creatures in play, attacking for 4. I have to imagine there's going to be like, go for the throat, maybe another removal spell, and a Gix command maybe. Their hand has been kind of awkward, but Gix command doesn't really do a ton. It can clean up this and Atali. Their opponent exiles a creature they control. I'm going to make Gix command as weird as possible, and I'm going to hit theirs. What even is that? 3 mana? Oh, wow. Deep Cavern Bat at turn late. If they were holding on to that, that feels really, really bad. If they were like, oh, I'm going to hold up these double removal spells, how bad can it be? And it just all of a sudden got significantly worse. I have just Cavern. But I have a lot of damage on board. They might be holding up Go for the Throat to remove a Tali if I try to pay to flip it, but I will not be doing that. I'll definitely be bringing up this manland here and attacking with it if I hit nothing but air. And I hold the Cavern up just in case, like I top deck something. Obviously they don't have counter magic, but just in typical like normal play that you want to do is like we keep the Cavern available. So if I do top deck, say a Dino or something, or the Armadillo, I can then name it and then it'll resolve automatically if this was like a counter spell deck. But regardless, we get there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Ooh. I think it's fine because we can always get the green off the Armadillo. Here, we can play the Rock Veil first. You slap that in. We have 2 Terror of the Peaks, which are fine, just a little worse at just being like, here's my Terror of the Peaks. On a red, it seems. Gaining life is going to be good. My brother said in, most likely without a Kamano coming in on turn 1 is actually going to hit a very good range here. Normally, when Mono Red plays Kamano, a lot of times, like, getting a Swift Spear out of the way is very difficult for us. So they play a Codebreaker. They're just going to attack with said Codebreaker. Yep, we're in combat. We're going to choose not to use this, which makes sense. But I'm going to play this a little bit sneaky. Instead of just removing that, I'm going to ramp. And because if they play like a lackluster turn again, then my plan is to play a Terror of the Peaks. Just kind of stare at them. And this is a 4/4. It does nothing currently. Own it. Different mountains make me absolutely disgusted. Here's a Swift Spear. Hopefully they commit this turn. Oh, yes. This is the turn. Come on. Go for it. I have nothing. This is the point where it's like so hard not to go for this value. Because this is plus 4 here. That's a lot of damage coming across. But now I get to Brothers Hit in, play land. Oh, that was even free, right? So now they can even go harder. Will they know to Monster Shrage the Swift Spear with already a thing on it? No. They put me to 7. And the reason you would want to use this on this is because now Brotherhood In does not kill it. Whereas in the other way, now you have no board. Whereas before you'd been fine, kind of. Not necessarily fine, but, you know, in a little bit better spot, I guess. Pending, because we already have 6 mana as well, I'm probably going to grab a Surveil land. Like, can I? It's not a desert, right? Yeah, 2 of those, not necessarily where they want to be. But getting me in range is just good enough, honestly. I do have a desert, but it is not Surveil, I guess. Sure, I guess I grab mountain. Smugglers Surprise. Very, very sick and clean here. Let us pass here. They're mono red. It's not like they have any instant speed interaction in terms of like countering a spell. And if they go all in terms of like trying to pump their creature or something, then I tear the peaks. I shoot down both their creatures. Nothing will protect them. And doing stuff like this actually makes it way easier for us. What do you got for me, opponent? Attacks. Sure. We're going to commit something. I want you to commit a spell. Okay. Even better than that. I'll put 2 creatures from my hand into play, being this one and this one. And because they did tap out, one is going here and one is going here. And then... oh, I was already past blocks. Regardless. We're the best, so we draw the best, you know? Here's 14. And then attack. Get them all the way. Very cool. We didn't even have to play a land for this. But regardless, any creature there wins us the game. But also, I guess I should have been a little bit better at making sure that if I was at blocks, I should have probably shot both these down, because now I'm kind of vulnerable to lightning strike. But like double lightning strike. But it is what it is. Going first. This hand seems reasonable. And because we'll get the Stomper on 3, getting the other red for the Brotherhood in, because we'll just name Dino for the cavern. But we will see. Let us go ahead and lead off with a forest. I think forest hides way more than a red land. Red land implies aggro. We got Boros. Brotherhood in, you're going to be everything here. Calamity, I don't want to draw more copies of you. Please stay at home. But we have about... being on the play, we have time. If we were on the draw, we'd be a little too slow, potentially. Depending how this turn goes. Especially attack here relieves a lot of pressure. Honestly. Which is weird to say. Now I don't have to name Dino on this Stomper, or on this cavern for this Stomper. I can just go ahead and play the forest, grab a mountain, and now we're kind of set up to Brotherhood in this board. Oh, let's go. This is bad, but like not near as bad at getting a Knight Errant of Eos in play. I'm perfectly fine with that. Over the alternative? No way, bro. Dino is my name. These don't wear it out. 3. And then we are looking for a land draw. Nice. Yeah, I feel like the hand was a little bit whack, but they still might have good things to do. Creature plus Imidanes is also still just good. It's just not that big of a deal. Especially considering I might miss a land here. If I don't miss a land here, I'm feeling significantly better about my chances. If I do, I might have to commit to Smuggler Surprise to find one. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe tragic. I think they mulled to the bottom, so I'm going to hope we're not dead here. Land is a very good sign that I could not be dead here. Take my 5, 6, 7. I say land good. Draw tap land. Honestly, we didn't die, so I feel pretty confident. And now they're empty-handed. They didn't scry. Their creatures are bigger, but they're not near as big as my creatures. So we're having a measuring contest. We're winning. So cringe, but it's fine. Don't worry about it, chat. I said it. You don't have to listen. Weirdly enough, just hitting Epic here is actually better than kind of not hitting like any creature at all. Now, I could crew this in attack, but I don't think it's worth it. We have no more basics. I'm not finding lethal, I don't think, because I can't do this one. It does not do a legendary. So if I do this, it's going to hit for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's actually not worth it here. I'm way better off waiting, playing this armadillo, and bringing 2 7/7 reachers in play, along with attacking with the rest of the board. Tap land, that just sucks. Well, this game went from bad to worse for our Boris opponent, and it turned out pretty well for us. Another situation in which that untapped land that we drew could have been a loss there if they actually drew well. I think there's a very good chance that they draw like a knight into like Imadanes and start loading the board again, and then it's a little bit tough for us. But either way, we find the win. Very cool. My opponent goes first. My hand is questionable, but I do have ramp in the ramp, and normally that is fine. Normally. I'm lacking in the red department though. Blue-black. Not my favorite matchup of all time. Just in general. Not that it's necessarily bad here. Will Glimpse resolve, or will you hit it with like a Make Disappear? Or Phantom Interference, sure. I like how Wizards was like, yo, Make Disappear, pretty good. What if we make another type of that spell? Dino. One. Can't counter this one, Mr. Sir. Sure did. Blow up my cavern. Paper, this would be sick, because then I'll just go grab both. Because they would say, oh, your spell resolves. I'd be like, okay, thank you. Now we have to take this interaction and paper this much quicker and do this. We grab Mountain because if we draw more glimpses, then we want to be able to go grab the actual forest out of our deck. Who knows? I need to draw a land. Okay, I'm nuts. It's fine. We'll talk about it later. I'm probably going to use one of these surprises on their end step to find a land. Sure, you can memory deluge. Find a land and find a threat. You know, gotta do what we gotta do. Another cavern would be great, because then I can name like mounts. Oh, who knows? What do you got for me, opponent? You would like to duress me. Sure. He's like one of my copies of Smugglers. Surprise. So we haven't been playing this game for very long. There's literally no cards in my graveyard. Pretty much. They're going to play around Smuggler's Surprise. I'm going to shoot off the land part, I think. / grab creature part. Okay. This one and this one. Show them a card they know about. You have the removal? No. I mean, regardless, like, Topiary Stomper can't attack his turn anyway, so it's not like I'm losing any tempo here. It just doesn't make a difference. Sick. Paying 3 life there, knowing what deck they're against, means every spell in their hand's important. Or land drop. At least they evaluate it as such. Oh, they're gonna exile them. You're gonna cast Deadly. You're gonna cast the board wipe and exile them. You have enough in there. Not that serious. You know what most of my hand is, and you should pretty much know what the graveyard is already. But they keep highlighting. Come on. Cast your Deadly Cover up or don't. Okay. That's crazy. They like tapped out to do this when you know I have another Calamity in hand. Sure, I guess. Huh? What was... I don't know. I don't know. Down to 5. This will go away. Turn target null and permanent. Put a bounce spell in your hand? That... Now I'm really confused because now I don't know what they have. Sure. Go for the throw. Must have been the rip for turn, I guess. Combat. 4. Yeah. Their mana's also stressed too. Kind of the other thing. Don't give them a chance to breathe. You can play this one instead. It still plays around a normal counterspell like this one. But it can also progress my game. And because of the way the mana works, if we get to a turn that I can play Terror of the Peaks with another land, oh well, we can put that in hand. So that's also lethal. So what I'm referring to is if I can draw like another Topiary Stomper or another 3-drop, I can play Terror of the Peaks and play that 3-drop and then shoot them. Uh-huh. Gonna spend 5 more mana to do that. Sure. What would they have for 2 mana if they were able to do that? It's deadly cover up, of course, but we exile Smugglers Surprise. What are we exiling? Sure. Has to be Smugglers Surprise. Yeah. That's fine. That is indeed fine. What do we got, opponent? Bro, you don't have to write down every card in my deck. This is a thing you don't have to do. Dick. I'll do this. I drew the one of your game. Wow. Wow, this hand is bad. Wow, is this hand bad? Oh, dude. At least I can get a green source, I guess. Take the only one that's like not a spell that's usable. Human? Oh no. Alright, that's a good draw at least. Because that gives me red mana immediately, and then I can Armadillo for red mana, and then Brotherhood End would be enough. No red, but it looks like mono white so far. Just playing Cavern to get around control mechanics. But who knows? Right to the bottom. In turn. We are in a situation. Okay, they are Boros. Oh my god. I'm in danger. Haha. Okay, I'm done having the game pause me every 2 seconds for this. I will grab a mountain. Thank you. Alright, take your turn, opponent, please. Thank you. Not that you weren't already taking your turn. I was just getting annoyed by my own thing here. Oh, man. If I put Trailblazer in the zone and I draw land after this one. Or no, I already played land drop. Never mind. Oh, I'm so dead. Sure, I guess in turn. I have to shoot the Packle, I guess. Are you gonna scry right away? Seems kind of crazy. How do you have nothing in your hand that you're just not wanting to attack out here? I don't know. Interesting. Sure. It actually buys us some time because, like, you're taking 3 damage off the board here for this. Out there to declare attacker step, I'm going to shoot the Packle. I'll take my 4. And then I'm looking to play Beseiju Suspend Trailblazer, or whatever you want to call it. Sure. Or draw a Brother's Hood End. And then just have to deal with the Warden.
I lied to you.
Sick. Not as sick, but sick. Dude, stop playing stuff. What in the world? They were like, I'm actually playing Affinity. I'm going to play everything. And they left on top, so that means I'm dead. Sick. Watch. Watch. There's going to be Amadange right off the top. Spin. We drew the land. Here it comes. Ah, it's the same thing. And my opponent is so talented at the game. They cast Gleeful Demolition and I lost. I go first. I can find a land here. I can Trailblazer. I can ramp. I mean, it's fine, I suppose. I think my big issue with this deck is a lot of times you really do have to just keep 2 landers. Because this deck, like, suffers from the problem of you need to make sure you have threats in your hand with the Smuggler's Surprise. But you also have to somehow hit the lands. But most of the time that means you have to ramp. It just feels really awful. So, like, here, like, I would prefer not to keep that land on top, but I have to. Just to make sure I'm hitting my land drops. Now I think about it, we honestly could probably cut this land. I don't think it's ever come up. Like, I think it's always been more of an inconvenience than it has been a positive. I think I would just rather do without. Now, once rotation happens and we lose some cards, then that's a different story. But for right now, on this hand, I'm going to name Dragon. And because of the deck I'm playing against, I could ramp, but I don't. I mean, I have Smuggler's Surprise. Either way, I'm going to Trailblazer here first. I'm going to play it, make a mana, play the Topiary Stomper, and then maybe cycle the Armadillo. Main reason why is just because, again, I had to kind of keep a low lander hand unless I wanted to go to 6. And there's a lot of discard decks running around, so I don't really want to do that. Is you just run into like the enchantment that makes you discard a card right into the bat, and then you're down to like 3 cards in hand or 2. Now I have 5 cards. None of them are lands, but found it. Do we surveil the land into the graveyard and then not draw one? Maybe they just truly had a problem. I don't know. Okay. Sure. I don't even think they're allowed to interact with me anymore. I want to draw first. I want to heighten my chance to draw a land. I miss. For the forest then. Pass. My hand's highlighted. Okay, they're here. I just don't... I think they actually genuinely ran into a problem. Which kind of sucks, but I have no way of knowing that. So I just played out. Normally I would just like pass if I knew that they ran into an issue, but I'm good. I prefer you not to get to cycle that for free. Sure. I will glimpse. Forest. I will Armadillo. I will Archway. I know. It's a combo deck. This I'll attack with. If you want to trade that off, go for it. I didn't figure, so. But right now, I have lethal in hand. Unless they take my Smuggler's Surprise. In which I then won't have it. Surveil. I think they missed a land last turn, and that's why they were mad. I could be wrong. Yeah, because they're not playing a land here either. I'm pretty sure they missed a land. No? Dude, don't surveil a land into your graveyard if you don't have land drops. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't think I am. I guess I'll draw stuff. I'm just going face. It's lethal, so it doesn't matter. This one. Attack. We get to double draw. We get to shoot for 15. I should have stacked it so my draws happen after the 15. But it's fine. Either way, we get there against Golgari, which honestly, outside Deep Cavern Bat or maybe like a Shieldred pretty quickly, is probably one of our favorite matchups. Any of these mid-range matchups that just don't have removal, because the thing are discard like Deep Cavern Bat stuff, because the problem is we just wait one more turn if we have the kind of the combo in hand, and then we just give our creatures indestructible and hexproof, and then they can't do anything. Okay, so here is the Gruul ramp list I was playing today. I kind of was all over the place on it. I think right now, because it is early season, this deck is not in the best place. If you run into a lot of the mid-range decks, you're pretty happy with that. However, the amount of times that I've just ran into mono red or Boros, if I did not have a Brotherhood end, I lost the game. Or if I didn't hit it off of like a cascade or whatever you want to call it, discovering off this, which happened in one of the games, which was super sick. If we did not have Brotherhood end, we lost. Or like just burned down the house. Now, why burn down the house? I kept running into an issue in which Brotherhood End would be the best card to hit in most scenarios, or have in most scenarios. But then I would run into the kind of Orzhov decks that would be playing Preacher, which has 4 toughness. This doesn't remove it. Shieldred, this doesn't remove it. A lot of the things that they were playing had 4 toughness, and the only thing Brotherhood End could kill on the board was 1/1/1 that Preacher made on their side, and the 3 creatures that they had in play would live, which was just annoying, pretty much. So I did play 1 copy of Burn Down the House, because in those matchups, I have a little bit more time to potentially find this card. Or against those decks, if I am just able to combo, then it doesn't matter. But the problem was I wasn't able to combo, nor did Brotherhood End that I had like a copy of, or 2 in hand, I believe, and I just could not get it. I just couldn't get it done. So right now, I think this one might be the worst one of the 2, like, Smugglers surprise decks. I'm going to play them back to back, like I said in the intro, where I play this one, and then I go right into playing the Jund one. I think Jund, in my opinion, having the hard removal early with, like, go for the throats and stuff, or cut downs, makes it a little bit better right now in the meta, where there is a lot of aggro, because people are just trying to get back into Mythic if they're in the Mythic, and they're just like, I'm going to play my 49% win rate to loss rate, and I'm going to slowly just get there as quick as I can, take the bad days, take the good days, and hope the good days are enough to get me to the tier, because ranked works in a very interesting way on Arena, in my opinion. But other than that, I mean, the deck's fun. It's super fun. If you have it, it's very cool. But other than that, I think the Jund version is probably going to be a little bit better. But we'll find out tomorrow for sure. So with that said, I'll catch y'all later. I hope you enjoyed the video regardless. And I'll see you in the next one.